Hey, let me see a muscle up.
Muscle up?
Yeah.
What? Squat! What's up, bros? Let's get it.
Okay.
We doing tutorials, right?
Yep.
Never want to bring your knees up when you do my fucking routine. What's up? That's good. Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Darrell. You just seen fucking ran up here, bust out the muscle ups. Now fucking edit that out. See, all right, what's up, man? Darrell. Been working out with Esteban and Lucas for like what 2 years now. So, you know, today I guess we're doing a tutorial for muscle ups, and I'll be sharing a little bit of my tips, my inside scoops, how I've trained and how I've learned things over the past few years, and I'll be excited to share with you guys.
What's your requirements like on a muscle up? Like, what do you feel like you need before you start actually like attempting them?
Like with anything, man, I think you need strength, just a basic strength, man. So I feel like if you can do 10 to 15 clean reps of pull-ups without shaking, just, you know, having good form, I think you're ready to go, man. From there, the muscle up to me is just, after that, basic strength is just technique, man. Just learning how to get yourself over that bar and kind of just pulling up.
So I'll be showing you guys some pull-ups, how to do proper pull-ups. So you want to retract your scapula. So you don't want to pull with your bicep, but more pull with your lats. So something like this.
Minimum at least 10, but like the more the better. Come up with this.
So for a muscle up, you also want to do explosive pull-ups. So you want to go as high as you can. If you can touch your chest, try to even go like below that.
Your belly
I
button.
probably could just go like by my first abdominals, but let's see.
You don't have abdominals.
Alright. So you want to be really good at those.
What are some like mistakes like you could do like doing with muscle ups?
Man, dude, I feel like you can really fuck your shoulder up, but can I cuss on here? I don't know. I feel like you can really tweak your shoulder, but you gotta eat, man. You gotta get it however you get it. But the chicken wing, a lot of guys when they first start off, they want to they're so eager to do the muscle up, so they throw themselves up there and you're fucking your shoulder up that whole time, dude. You can easily tweak something in your shoulder. So I feel like, you know, chicken winging, but eventually that shit gets cleaned up.
So we went over the requirements, which is pull-ups, dips. You gotta be not really good at them, but pretty good at them, because you need to be explosive and have a good amount of pushing. Of what?
Reps.
Yeah. I would say 10 to 15, right?
Yeah, it's in
Or like 10 to 20.
Yeah. More the better.
Right. Is momentum okay in a muscle up?
When you're first learning them, yeah, like I feel like we all started using momentum because I learned it without like a band. So I would use momentum when I first learned it, and I would just try it every single day, and then finally one day I just got it.
Right. So at first, if you use momentum, there's a muscle up called the chicken wing. I started doing chicken wings first before I started getting them clean. As I kept doing them, I got better, obviously. But they first looked like this, something like this. That's how they first look. They say not to do it because you can get injured, but I feel like there's no way around of doing that.
If you use a band.
Yeah, unless you use the band. But if you don't have a band, I mean, even with the band, I think I still used to do them like that.
Yeah. And especially when you get like fatigued too, like they could end up going like that.
Right. All right. So after a cool minute that like you've been doing, like chicken wing muscle ups, I used to do them. That's how I first started. Then you want to clean it up. Simply, you can do weighted reps, pull-ups and dips. Make your body weight feel like way easier. But you want to show them how a clean muscle up looks like?
Yeah.
This is how you want your muscle up to look. Clean momentum. Dip. Pull. Dip. Clean. So what do you think is like the trickiest parts of a muscle up?
Like when you get like right here, the transition part.
So the transition might be the trickiest part of the movement. I think where you rotate is where you pull, right? Like the last of your pull, that's when like you rotate.
Yeah,
right?
you kind of you lean forward and kind of rotate.
So I think that's the trickiest part. Some people like they pull, but they don't like throw their chest over the bar, so that might like get in the way of you going up all the way. But so what I mean about the wrist, when you don't throw it over, it might look something like this. So like you gotta actually throw your chest over the bar in order for you to like actually do the dip. So you gotta do this and then dip.
This is a perfect bar right here, because basically you can just practice that muscle up rotation on a bar with jumping. And like once you get comfortable with that rotation from jumping, it makes it a whole lot easier once you're actually on a pull-up bar that you're gonna jump onto.
The better your explosive pull-ups are, easier. I feel like it's more of a pulling movement, right?
Yeah, it's more of a pulling movement.
Because you gotta get up there. So if you don't have good pull-ups,
The other thing is, if you like, because the muscle ups are a real complex movement, you could like, I like to really like break it down to like the hand placement, for example. Like you could do your muscle ups like this, like completely how you have your pull ups, right? So they're just like this. Or I started doing like later on, it really helped like clean up my muscle ups too. It was it's like a semi false grip and like a regular grip. So you're like in the middle like this. And it takes a lot of forearm strength to do it. So like beginning you could just hang like this until you get strong enough, then you start doing pull-ups like that. But it's like this. Just hang like that, and then you can start doing pull-ups like that. And the reason why I have my hand like that is because you have to transition less. Because if you have a good real high pull, you pull right here, and all you have to do is just go like that. So that's why I like to use that grip.
hand placement, what do you think? Should it be wide or just like a regular pull-up, right?
Yeah, like shoulder width, or everybody has like different, is built different, so whatever feels like more like natural. The most comfortable, natural to you.
One way you can get your muscle ups could be assistance muscle ups using rubber bands. Not rubber bands, but like these bands.
Resistance bands, yeah.
Yeah. So there's different kinds of levels of bands that can like help you out. The thicker the better if you don't really know how to do it. But you just basically loop it.
That's what she said.
Put your feet in. Don't be scared to jump. I've been seeing some people try to like scared to jump.
And it fucking comes up.
Yeah. So you just want to do this, and it's gonna help you like a lot. You want to get a little bit of momentum, just shoot up. This is way easier than without the band.
Yeah, it's really gonna help you get up and over and like really dial in that technique. So you can start off with the heavy one, and go to like a medium one, then you can go to a light one, and then keep trying them without any band, and then you'll get it.
So after a while that you've been doing them, you want to start cleaning up your muscle up. What do you think are some ways that you can clean up your muscle up?
It's like some ways to clean up my muscle up. I would just I would put like a box in front of me at the gym, or like a little like a step one of those little things you step on, and I'll put those in front of me, like kind of far back, so my legs won't like go past that, and then I'll keep bringing it closer and closer, and like pretty soon I was doing them without barely even like moving a little bit.
Yeah, so I think a clean muscle up is when you have little to no momentum. So what he was talking about, we'll demonstrate it. Do you want to do the muscle up or you want me to? You do. Alright, so he can come like closer and closer to clean it up, so I don't have as much momentum now. So he can be in front, and I'm gonna try not to touch him. I think my muscle ups are pretty clean, not the best, but pretty clean. I've only been doing them for like maybe like, shit, I don't know.
10 years?
Huh?
Like 10 years?
No.
He's been doing like
2
10 years. Another thing I would point out is keeping like full body tension when you, like with the clean muscle up. So you want to like squeeze, like calisthenics is like always like full body, like every muscle is usually involved. So I like to like, I don't know, I point my toes down because that kind of like flexes my my legs. It keeps everything tight. Because when you're kind of loose, like they tend to like, they can move around and stuff like that. So I like to keep like full tension in my body while I do my muscle ups. And pretty much every exercise, core is involved in it a lot too.
Maybe your muscle up might look something like this at the beginning, but you want to clean it up, so I don't think we showed that yet. So I first started doing them like this, so I was really getting momentum, so I was doing this. I was throwing my knees up because your knees up like throws you up. So it might look something like this, but over time you want to start cleaning it up, making them cleaner, you know. And how long do you think
It takes long?
yeah, to like learn the muscle up?
It depends on the person, and it depends like how frequently you train it. Like if I had to take a guess, if I can remember, it probably took me like a couple months, like 2-3 months to learn it.
Man, if you have that basic strength, I kid you not, man. Once you find out a certain technique, I feel like in a week, and don't think I'm crazy, but like if you find a certain technique, mine was like jumping over an imaginary line and then getting that momentum to swing back. I'll hop into an L sit, and when that L sit forms as you're coming back, it gives you so much momentum to just pull yourself over that bar, and then from there everything's just gonna come strict. But yeah.
You want to give an example of how like a beginner muscle up, how like yours first looked when you did them?
For sure. Hell yeah. So like I learned this from like several guys off of calisthenics. But basically, like there's an imaginary line right here. You want to jump over that. You want to press your toes into a button, and you want this button to push you back. And I'll show you what I mean. Into that L sit I was talking about earlier. So you have your imaginary line, you jump over that button, and you come into that L sit. So after the L sit, I'll show you what you're gonna do. Look how easy that momentum was for me. So from there, I'm just gonna pull my chest to the bar and just do a straight bar dip. Just pull it to your chest. This way, you're not chicken winging, you have full control over your body due to that momentum. So, hope you guys check that out.